Assassin's Creed Shadows has been announced for the Nintendo Switch 2, and this might end up being the best looking Nintendo Switch 2 game yet. What's up guys, Nintendo Jab here, back with a brand new Switch 2 video. And yeah, Assassin's Creed Shadows so far is looking really good on Nintendo Switch 2. This is the trailer that you guys are seeing here that released, I believe, like 2 days ago. And it officially revealed that not only is Assassin's Creed Shadows coming to Nintendo Switch 2, but it's actually coming really soon. December 2nd is the official release date. Now, based off of this trailer that you guys are seeing here for the Switch 2 announcement, as well as some in-game screenshots that they shared, which we will look at in just a second, Assassin's Creed Shadows on Switch 2 is looking like a very visually impressive game. It kind of looks like it might be up there with the Cyberpunk 2077 or Star Wars Outlaws, another Ubisoft game. Those two games are usually regarded as some of the best looking AAA games on Nintendo Switch 2 at this time, and I think Assassin's Creed Shadows actually has what it takes to be up there if they can really nail down that optimization for Switch 2. And after seeing the Star Wars Outlaws release and that being a Ubisoft game and stuff, I actually have a lot of hope that Shadows is going to look and run very well on Nintendo Switch 2. Star Wars Outlaws right now looks really good on Switch 2. It runs really good, and they're actually continuously updating it just to kind of fix it a little bit and round it out and make it an overall better experience for the players. That one has actually been really surprising for the Nintendo Switch 2, and so them following it up with Assassin's Creed Shadows and so quickly, like a month and a week from now, I have a lot of hope for it. I'm actually really excited to see how this ends up looking on Switch 2. So these screenshots that you guys are going to be seeing here are apparently Assassin's Creed Shadows screenshots running on Nintendo Switch 2, and based off of the visual quality that we're seeing here, I think this is going to be a very visually impressive port for the Nintendo Switch 2. Obviously these are just still images. We don't know the exact resolution, the exact frame rate, how smooth is it, but overall, just based off the visuals alone, this game looks good. It looks sharp, it looks detailed. It's obviously not as good as the ray traced version on PS5 or anything like that, but you have to remember the Switch 2 is a handheld at the end of the day, so having quality like this in a open world AAA game, third party game more specifically, this is still very impressive. I'm really excited to see just how smooth it is and how well it runs and stuff, even though I already have the game on PC and I already have a PC handheld that have had various ones like the Steam Deck, the ROG Ally, the Lenovo Legion Go. It'll still be really interesting to see how the game runs on the Switch 2, even though I have these other options, just because obviously with these handheld PCs you don't get the developer focused optimization that consoles get. So it's going to be really nice to see how Ubisoft actually squeezes out as much as they can from the Nintendo Switch 2 for Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, speaking of PC handhelds, I did want to just go ahead and run the game on my Lenovo Legion Go. This is the first generation Legion Go, not the new second one that just came out. And so this is Assassin's Creed Shadows running on the Legion Go. This is the Steam version of the game, running at 900p, low settings, and as you can see, it's getting around 40-ish FPS. Obviously not like a perfect 60 or anything like that, and we're not at full at 1080p, but this is still very playable. And again, this is without all of the developer specific optimizations that the Nintendo Switch 2 will get. So the fact that it's running this well on a handheld PC that doesn't really have that same level of focus that the Switch 2 has. But yeah, I'm just really excited to see how the Switch 2 handles this game, especially when it comes to the dynamic weather system that this game has. It can get pretty crazy, and the frame rate can drop a bit on my Legion Go when playing this game when there is a massive rainstorm, thunderstorm going on, if you're in the snowy areas and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see how well the Switch 2 handles that dynamic weather system. But I'm really excited to actually see it. I have thoroughly enjoyed playing some of these AAA games that have been upgraded for the Switch 2, games like Hogwarts Legacy, No Man's Sky, Cyberpunk. Even though I've owned some of these games on my Lenovo Legion Go already, it is really interesting to see just how well the Switch 2 keeps up, even though it is technically a weaker device. And it's also really cool to see just how much better the battery life is in some of these AAA games on Switch 2. Cyberpunk, for example, you can get almost 2.5 hour battery on the Nintendo Switch 2. Meanwhile, if I played on my Legion Go trying to match a similar visual quality and stuff, it will get like an hour and a half or so. So basically a whole hour less. So that's one thing that I think is really cool too about the Switch 2 is it has such a tiny battery, yet they're accomplishing so much at such a low TDP on the Switch 2, and yet they still are able to pump out games like Cyberpunk, Star Wars Outlaws, etc, etc. But yeah guys, Assassin's Creed Shadows coming to Nintendo Switch 2. It's going to be really interesting to see in December how well this game looks, how well it runs, and just compared to some of these other like really good AAA quality ports on Nintendo Switch 2 like Cyberpunk and stuff. It's gonna be really interesting. I think this game might end up being one of these new like benchmarks that people refer to with the Nintendo Switch 2. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the game coming to Switch 2 down in the comments below. And with all of that being said though, guys, thank you for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.